Well, hello there, and I do hope you're all well. Now, in this amazing, powerful story, the main reasons why you must join a union. I mean, everybody should. Well, that's in my eyes anyway. Well, on James O'Brien's show on LBC, he was finishing his monologue. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, and about the purpose of trade unions. But before he finished, he revisited a story told to him by a friend of his who was told this story by his own father, and I have to say I was quite shocked.
I'm going to talk to Ian McEwan about Ian McEwan's books, including his latest, which comes out in September, and is just a masterpiece, a beautiful book. And I sit there, I feel about 11, and I'm about to offer a thought on the book, something that, well, I thought this when, and you just think, God, please don't crush me, don't destroy, don't say, no, it wasn't about that at all. And his book speaks to some of the stuff we've just touched upon. It speaks to the question of progress. It speaks to the question of optimism and improvement. And it draws upon an experience that his own father had in Glasgow before the war, when dock workers would congregate at the docks and there would be more workers than there was work. You're familiar with this. It would fall to the gangmaster to decide who got work that day. But he tells a story that he was told by his dad, and it makes its way into the new novel, that I hadn't heard of before, and I should have done. And it's obvious, and of course it happened, but I'd never quite clocked that dimension of the practice. I just thought it was right. Okay, Keith, you can work today. James, sorry, mate, you can go back home again. John, you're in. Bob, you're not. I just thought it went like that. But what used to happen was that you would have is gangmaster the right phrase? I'm not sure it is. But anyway, the foreman, let's say. So the foreman would say, right, I've got 5 shifts today. And then the men would auction downwards who was prepared to work for the least amount of money. So, in modern money, it would be, all right, I'll do it for a tenner an hour. And then Keith would say, well, I'll do it for £9.50. And I'd say, well, I'll do it for 9, until you got to the absolute bare minimum that someone was prepared to work for. And do you know what fixed that? Trade unions. I mean, it's not even an opinion. It's just counting. That's all. That's what happened. Because you see it in business. I mean, look at somebody like, do you have to pick a sort of pantomime villain type of example? But you look at these companies or these individuals, whether they're running a water company while paying themselves millions of pounds, or whether they're running an on-site online retailer, their job is to make more money tomorrow than they made yesterday. That's all the job is. So if you allow them to take more money from their workforce for themselves and their shareholders, they will. That is what they're trying to call red tape, or regulations that we're going to abolish. And again, just as Liz Truss thinks with a degree of confidence that she can rely upon your cheers and shouts of support as she strips you of your own rights, so she and Rishi Sunak are fairly confident, with the support of the right-wing media, that they will be able to get you cheering and applauding as they give companies the right to take even more of the money that had previously made its way into the pockets of the workers. There is no permanent progress. Everything that you think was a victory for the people or the workers or labour against owner is temporary, and it can be clawed back.
I will tell you, this story reminded me of a chapter in The Ragged Trousered Philanthropist. It's one of my favourite books, where Hunter, that's his name in the book, he was the foreman, and what he wanted to do was desperate to sack as many of the top earners as he possibly could, and for the slightest little thing, anything, if they put a pipe inside of the mouth, that'll set you down the road. And it's not because of their shoddy workmanship, because they usually want it. It's because, for simple reason, every job that they would do, he would get a 2% cut on it, if I remember rightly, something like 2%. So if he could narrow down the workers' wages, that means more money for him. So it was as simple as that. And it always shocks me because I just think, why would you want to do that to other people? But as James says it right, he says their main purpose in life is to make more money than what they made yesterday. And now we're living in a society now where we've been gaslit into hating trade unions because in newspapers they'll go out of the way to make sure that they look like these absolute militant radical nut jobs. And when it came to that story, it just shows you that they're not really. They do more than what these absolute charlatans of newspapers will tell you. And it was, and I remember on Wednesday he took a call from a woman who due to ill health had lost a job, and if she said if it weren't for the unions she'd have lost a home as well. So all this stuff about the Grant Shapps and Dizzy Lizzie and Fishy Sunaka, you know, they're all saying that how absolute militant nut jobs they are. When you look inside it, they're not right. I have my own personal tale. I remember when I was unfairly dismissed from my place of work, and if it weren't for my unions, I would not have got my job. I wouldn't have even gone as far as enough to try and get my job back. Whether I enjoyed the job, I wouldn't know the matter, but it were all about food on the table, and you just do what you need to do. But anyway, I do hope you enjoyed that video because that was a story I did not know. And puts it into perspective, doesn't it? So, alright, I shall leave the video here and do have a fantastic weekend. And till the next time, I shall bid you farewell and take care.